Merry Christmas, people! Welcome to
Jingle bells.
a special issue of Couchfield where we're talking about Tokyo Godfathers, uh, a movie
Yeah.
about
T-
Christmas goodness and miracles.
about Godfathers from Tokyo.
Uh,
Uh, this is we're taking a break from Cowboy Bebop to
yeah,
bring you this, as you say, very special bonus episode.
yeah, Christmas, man. We give it to the people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people might have said they wanted this, and we might have done this. I might have been one of those people.
Wait, what? Did people actually say we wanted this?
No, I definitely did.
That's all that
I
matters,
really
Steve.
well, I really I wanted an excuse to watch this movie.
Well, that's fine. Hmm, I don't know, man. It's just,
Yeah.
it's not, it's not a movie I ever really wanted to watch.
Um, you know what it is actually. I mentioned him before. Lions Lounge, the guy who does the cocktails and anime discussion.
Oh yeah.
He did an episode on this. I think last Christmas, or maybe the Christmas before. No, last Christmas. And I saw it, and I was like, you know what, this seems interesting. Like, there's not that many, as we discovered, Christmas anime films.
Or at least not that we came across. I'm sure there's more.
No, I'm sure there's tons, but there's probably not that many high profile ones.
Yeah,
Um,
so this was, I think the screenplay was done by, what's her name? Kiko? The same person that did a few episodes on Cowboy Bebop, who just recently passed.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Um, and it wasn't because of that we went and watched it, but it's just,
No, weirdly, like we'd kind of been talking about it before that, and
yeah,
then it just so happened that it coincided like that. While we were
yeah,
watching Cowboy Bebop, which is even weirder.
yeah. We didn't realize it was the same person, but there you
No.
go. Anyway, so hope what that a minute.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
are things.
those are words. Oh, they weren't words, or like sounds.
Yeah.
This is that. What did you get for Christmas?
I don't know yet. Wait,
We're we are
hang on.
pre-recording this, so yeah.
Shit. Amazon vouchers, probably.
Ah, it's lame. I don't even know what I'm getting for Christmas.
I don't know. Well, to be fair, I just make that assumption. I have no idea.
It won't be vouchers from Amazon. I'll tell you that. Not for me, anyway. But
Nah.
if you guys want to share what you had for Christmas, you can always do it in the comments.
Where are the comments?
I don't know. We are the comments.
No, wait, to be fair, when I do post the link to this episode on Facebook, um, you should be able to share in the comments there.
Yeah, you can do it there. Can you not
An,
like
an
comment on
early
the
plug then.
podcast platforms?
I
I
don't know. Let me check.
not looking to it. We're professionals. We know our platforms.
Yeah, I know this platform like the back of my hand.
Or
The hell is that?
when it finally goes up on YouTube, you can watch it there.
That is true. Um, Shit, how do I do this? Okay, hang on. I'm getting this.
I'm getting there.
Uh, uh,
Well, Steve looks that up. I'll ask you another
no.
question. How's it going, people out there in the world that's watching this after I broadcast? So I don't know your responses to.
Oh, people can send us a voice message, but not to the episode, just generally to the podcast.
Don't tell them that. That's a bad idea. That is a terrible idea
Yeah,
because it'll
send
just be
your
like,
voice messages. Send us what you got for
Balls.
Christmas. Send us your conspiracy theories. Just say balls. That's
Facts.
anchor.fm/who's that anime. And if you want to leave a comment on the Facebook page, that's facebook.com/who's that anime.
Yeah. Selling these places to go to. Oh yeah, and also YouTube once the video goes up.
Oh, yeah. That's at youtube.com/a bunch of letters because it takes a lot to get a custom URL on YouTube these days.
Yeah, we're not a lot.
No, I think you need somewhere in the region of 1,000 subscribers.
It's only 1,000.
Only 1,000, and we have
Four.
4.
Four.
Yeah,
And that's me and you.
that is 2 of us. Yeah.
Possibly the Couchful channel.
Oh, there's 3. Okay.
And then maybe my mate who's
Oh, there you
maybe
go.
subscribed.
That's 4.
That
That
is
is 4.
That is 4.
That does
But
add up.
maybe that all change in the new year
Maybe.
as we actually
Well,
upload videos.
when we actually put content up. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you've worked hard to bring us content, Colin, and I think that doing that may actually bring people in to watch stuff. So
Yeah, just hope it doesn't get taken down for copyright infringement.
it's always a risk we take.
Yeah. I mean,
So
technically. Mhm.
oh no, go on.
I mean, technically, we had copyright infringements already on and how I was doing it before. We had the intro of the show, and it was like, nah,
Yeah, maybe we should.
can't broadcast that for you. A whole
Maybe we should
minute and a
stop
half.
Yeah, whoops.
It's fine. It's not proper copyright strikes. We're not
No.
got a strike. It's just like slap on the wrist, bad boy.
Yeah.
'Cause we're rebels.
I I have had several copyright claims on game content on streaming, and it's just like, what are you hearing in this? Because it's not what you've said.
Yeah. This is weird. Anyway, shall we dive right into this Tokyo Godfathers?
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is a bit normally what we try to do, or certainly have tried to do, is watch the thing we're watching as close to the recording as possible, so that we kind of know what's up. And my good intentions were to watch it last night, and that kind of got scuppered. So I have watched it tonight. Literally, we are recording that little bit later because of me, as I watched this movie at 1.5 times speed on Netflix.
That's right.
I don't
But
recommend that as being the optimal way to watch this movie. Like, I'll preface it with I really enjoyed this movie, but also maybe don't watch it at 1.5 times. Maybe you should watch it at normal speed.
yeah, well, I mean, to be honest, I mean, it has subtitles. It wasn't English.
Oh yeah, that was difficult to keep up with sometimes.
Yeah, I bet it was. Anyway, shall we dive right into it and
Yeah.
start this off? So,
Yeah, let's do it.
yeah, so it's Tokyo Godfathers, and it starts off at the old, what do you call it? I can't even remember what it's called.
Soup kitchen?
Yeah, but it was like they're having a play about the Jesus
Oh
Christ in
yeah,
the manger.
you're right. The pantomime? No, not the pantomime.
That's
no,
not
fuck
pantomime.
the nativity. Jesus, my mind's broken. Hang on, it's the nativity.
It's
The
the
nativity.
nativity. You're not going to one of them.
They are. I've been in a nativity when I was at school.
Yeah. How about your kids?
No.
No.
They learn more about Jesus. Well, my eldest has learned more about Jesus in school than I thought he would,
Yeah.
which was weird. Because it was getting to the point of like, do I need to have a discussion with the school about trying to make my child denominational?
Well, I don't know. I mean, my school was certainly had like nativities and stuff like that, and you would go to church for like hymns and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, we did that too. I
But
mean, excuse me, they've gone to like church for like singing and things like that.
yeah,
But I did notice that in the start of this, it's they were singing Silent Night in Japanese.
yeah, yeah, they were.
So in school, I was taught to sing taught to sing Silent Night in German
Okay, why German?
because I was learning German.
All right. No, I was too stubborn at learning French, so teacher just gave up on us. But you
I
did.
mean, I was 8 years old. They started teaching us languages quite early.
Oh, you're a progressive school.
I believe what was happening at the time was as they were trying to get languages brought into the primary schools. So a few teachers from the council area that I was in basically got sent to do a basic
Well,
language class,
yeah.
and
Well,
because it was supposed to be for the older kids, but because our teacher that we were getting at the time was the language teacher, we got that anyway.
all right. Yeah. Nope. Didn't get modern languages until I was in modern languages. French until I was in secondary. But
Yeah.
working in schools, I've noticed that primary schools certainly are teaching languages earlier than what were for us.
Yeah, they've been teaching my son like to count to 10 in Spanish and French and things like that,
Hmm.
which I think is fair. Like I'd probably have enjoyed to do that when I was younger too.
No.
But I still do remember Silent Night in German, which is probably saying something.
All right. Go on.
So
Sing
it's
it.
Stille Nacht, heilige Nacht, alles schlaft einsam wach, nur das traute hochheilige Paar, holder neben lokige Haar, schlaft in himmlischer Ruhe, schlaft in himmlischer Ruhe. That's the first part, and that's the bit I always remember. Never forget it, but I remember that bit.
All right. There you go. Wasn't very. It's
There you
not
go.
as bad as my singing. It wasn't
Oh,
too.
I am not singing. I am not singing that. There's something very something as like there's something very aggressive about German as a language that makes even the most religious of carols sound like Rammstein. So
That's all Ramstein sang, man. It was just carols. Everyone
uh,
just took it they were like a
my
heavy metal group.
I was taking my son to school the other day, and in my car we have like the digital radio,
Mm-hmm.
and I basically always have it set to Kerrang because that was the kind of kid I was, and Rammstein came on,
Oh dear.
and I was talking to him, and and he was like, "What song is this?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's Rammstein." And he's like, "I like this." It's like, okay. It's like, you know, it's in German. And he's like, "Oh, okay. I wondered why I didn't understand any of it."
Was it Du hast?
It was not. It was a song I wasn't actually familiar with. But I'm a big, or was a big Rammstein fan around the Mutter album.
Mm. Du hast.
It's good shit. Du hast mich. It's a quality song. I
Mm.
also am a very big fan of the meme of the Cookie Monster
What?
going nine
Nine.
nine. It's it's incredible. And the thing was, for the longest time, I was like, man, that guy must have spent a long time customizing the sound for that, or like circuit bending it to just be just right.
Uh-huh.
And apparently, that's not. It's not changed. That it's just what that sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, Sesame
It's
Street's a very
incredible.
popular show. It's been translated into many languages, I'm sure.
But the thing is, it's not. It's not even translated into the language. It's just saying nine in English.
He's just doing the number 9. I have 9
Yeah,
cookies. No, 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 no.
it's a telephone.
Oh, the
It's a
telephone.
telephone. Yeah, it's a telephone. It's so good.
Oh, the Simpsons telephone. Oh, Jesus.
It's
It's not
amazing.
Simpsons.
Properly amazing. Sesame Street.
Sesame Street. Anyway, so that's like the first half a minute of the show that we talked about there.
Oh fuck. We have like yeah, I digress. We're 17 minutes in. Sorry.
That's all right. I mean, that's why people listen to this, surely.
It's why people do or do not listen
Yeah.
to
It's like,
this
what?
show.
Okay. So yeah, they're listening to the hymn, and there's a one person that is like crying. It's like very religious type. Well, not really that religious, but like takes it a bit more serious than the other one. And the
Hmm.
other one's just kind of fell asleep through it all because it's a cool place. Um,
Yeah.
and then they go out to the soup kitchen because they're homeless. It's all about homeless people, and they
Yes.
start one starts talking about it and going, "Oh wow, it's great! I would love to be like the next Mary, Virgin Mary type thing because he's actually a guy dressed
Yes.
in drag and says that God made a mistake with him. He would rather be a girl, a woman. He should have been a woman.
Yep.
Um, so anyway, and he gets to the
But
soup
we
counter.
should preface as well that there's a lot of homophobic language in this movie.
Yeah, yeah, I suppose. I mean,
There's a fair amount.
did it not like come out from the homophobe, the the gay person?
No.
Or did it come out from the other guy?
Like sometimes the Hannah, who is the man trapped in the woman trapped in a man's body,
Hmm.
um does refer to their self as queer, which I think is okay.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at understanding what is a problem or not because I just don't want people to be offended. But there are moments where uh it's like I guess homo is not really that derogatory depending on I guess maybe the way you say it. I'm not sure. But what I can say is faggot is definitely not okay.
Yeah, yeah, but I thought that was Hannah referring to herself, himself.
No, no,
No, it's not.
no. That is Jin and several other men throughout the movie referring to Hannah
I just blanked out
more
that word.
specifically. Yeah, and you know, I don't blame you. It's not a word I particularly like.
Yeah. Anyway, so he's in there getting accused, and like, oh yeah, yeah, and then he comes up to the server and claims, "Oh, can I get it a little bit more? I got I'm eating for two," and she obviously overheard the whole entire conversation.
That's right. Yeah, because it's if God can give the Virgin Mary a baby, then why not me? Uh,
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah,
Um,
it's pretty funny.
that's you might have missed it. There's a split second in the movie later. But yeah, so they get their soup and they leave the soup kitchen, and it's now on top of a building in Tokyo somewhere, and someone's looking over a sign and gobbing on people below, and then
Yep.
blaming them for being there. Is the reason why they're getting gobbed
Oh,
on.
gobbing also you should say means spitting.
Oh yeah, but like that's like dropping a bit of spit on someone, isn't it?
Yeah, for a bit of localization for our non UK listeners
Yeah,
means
non-Scottish
spitting
listeners
someone.
probably.
Yeah, probably actually. I don't know. Gobbing seems like it could potentially be an English thing too, right?
Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah, no, that is true.
Even there are so many different. It's like when you come up to like Dundee and stuff, and you get the broad and Donny asking for like a pie, and then instead of pie they go pear, and
Yeah.
and then they go something like, "Can I get a and ah
Oh, and all
and aye," which is like an onion pie
as well, please.
as
An onion
well.
pie
Yeah,
as well. Yeah, the like I've lived on the East Coast for what is half of my life now, and I still don't understand the East Coast slang as much as I understand the West Coast slang.
yeah. I mean, Dundee isn't too bad. It's when you get up to
No, I
Aberdeen
think the
and stuff
further
like
Aberdeen, yeah, it gets a bit more difficult to
that. Like
understand. Well, yeah, you're getting into sort of what's the
Doric.
language called? Doric. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's getting into a bit of that, and yeah, then it becomes really difficult to understand.
yeah. It's like, oh, we'll better teach everyone Gaelic type thing.
Oh God,
But then you got like
let's not.
Doric and stuff like that.
Uh,
It's
let's
not
not.
getting taught. Dying languages.
Yeah, nobody needs to understand like the Magic House or whatever it was called on on kids TV was in Gaelic. I
Dot
don't
man.
need Dotaman. I don't need that. Just give me the English one, please.
Dot man was great.
Uh,
It
I don't know.
was nonsense in my mind. I did not understand a single word of it.
Well, it was also I was
And the
talking
guy
about
was
this
so
the other
always
day.
so
Was
cheery.
yeah, there was a thing on the BBC. I think it was the BBC called Muzzy. I don't know if you remember Muzzy. It's like a big green monster, um,
Yeah.
and it was a story told in English, but also in French or Spanish or German,
Hmm.
and it was just like segments of the kind of movie or whatever it was done time after time in English and then the language and then English and then the language to help you try and understand.
Mhm.
Um, I used to watch that endlessly as a kid. I never learned a word of French.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying it doesn't work, but for some reason, for me, it just never,
Never
never
clicked.
clicked.
I mean, I have like a hard grasp of like English and Scots as it is, so learning another language on top of that is like,
Well, I'm starting to like. I should say as well is that this is as you were saying about the subtitles. I think this is the first thing we've watched with subtitles.
yes, yes, it properly, yeah.
And interestingly, the trailer on Netflix, I think, is the dub.
Oh, that's a bit strange.
Because I remember watching the trailer and going, okay, cool, I'll get this watched, and then sitting last night to try and start this and going, oh, these are subtitles. Hang on, let me go and turn on the
On
English
the
dub, and then it's like, oh, there's no English dub. It's this or Portuguese.
well, there was Spanish and there was French
Oh,
and
was it Spanish?
I think
Oh,
there was
okay.
Spanish, yeah, and Portuguese and all the other like languages, but not
No, no
English.
English though.
No,
Figs, but no e.
yeah, uh, yeah. Um, so we're at the point. We've not even got to like the main. We're
I
just
know,
introducing
I know.
characters right now.
We are, yeah, we are.
Um, so they got to like the person goblin, and then someone looks up because she's obviously got hit on the head, and then
Yep.
she ducks away before they see him, and draws a tear mark on the ground rather than telemarks. She's drawing tears, like a water
Yeah.
droplet mark on the thing. Anyway, then the two people, Jin and Hannah, who we talked about earlier, come up and give her food and then complain to her that she's wasting the food because she's just eating it. And she's been, I think at this point you learn that she's like been homeless for 6 months,
Yeah.
and that she can go
It's
back
the
anytime she wants.
yeah. It was the what is it he says? It's like they're complaining about her, and she says something like, you're just such a drain on society," and it's like, well, you're a drain on us. What does that make you?
Yeah, yeah, that was to Gin.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I like that.
Yeah, there's good quips in this show.
Yeah, yeah. Like I immediately liked Gin and Hannah. Thought they were both really great. I was really frustrated with Miyuki, who's the younger girl, because she was just really frustrating and annoying.
Mm.
But that's the character, so
Yeah, that's what she might be. Um, ran away from home. Anyway, so and then basically Hannah goes, "Oh, I got you a present," type thing, but they had to go
yeah,
searching for it in the big rubbish pile somewhere else.
yes,
And then this is the point where they have a big argument over it, and I hear a baby crying in the rubble.
yep. Amongst all those rubbish bags and thing, here's this poor newborn.
Yeah,
I had a very visceral reaction to that. It was very unpleasant.
yeah.
As the it was the I think it was the thought of them not finding her
All right.
was like, oh, this could have been different.
Yeah. Well, from going through it and all this, even though they're homeless, they're very much looking out for everyone.
Yeah, they do. And of course they find this baby and immediately start to look after it, and they find a few things in the kind of bundle, the wrappings for the baby,
And the
and
cop.
there's like yeah, in the cot there's a note saying, please take care of the baby, and
Yeah.
I think there's a photo of the
Mm,
parents. Is that right? I can't
no.
remember if that's. Oh
I
no,
think
that's the
that's
locker.
later.
That's from the
Yeah.
locker. Yeah.
There's a key to the locker.
So there's a key and there's a key and a note,
Yeah.
and yeah, so they then have a big argument about what to do with the baby.
Mm-hmm.
The Gin's immediate reaction is, well, to the police now, which I was like, yes, take the baby to the police, please.
Yeah.
No offense, you guys don't seem to be able to take care of yourselves, let alone a child.
I don't know. They're taking care of themselves pretty well. This,
Well, yeah.
I mean, to a degree, they're just homeless.
They're looking out for each other.
Yeah. Seem to have their own shack somewhere in a park somewhere.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Hannah's smitten by the baby. It's like, oh, it's baby, it's mine, type thing. And then
Yep.
reminisces about her past. She mentioned her past at that point?
Uh,
I don't think so.
I think it's definitely conversation around like the desire for a child and it never being realized
Yeah, and also I think it's
in their
also
previous relationships.
I think one of our arguments was something along the lines of if the mother's buying the baby, then I'm not going to put into life without actually having a family type thing. I think there's a
Yeah,
conversation of
it's
that.
the she never grew up with a mother.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's the time of year I don't want to sort of I want to give the baby love on Christmas
Yeah.
because before they get banded about foster home after foster home,
Yeah. Not
sort of thing. So
yeah.
there's like a kind of niceness to the thing. Like it's all very caring, and I think each of them is except for Miyuki, sorry, because she's not really that into it at all. She's like, fucking get this away.
Yeah, she was like,
Uh,
we should probably do this because like that's the right thing to do.
yeah,
Yeah. Um. So she, so they all kind of like take it to a warm place. So they go to their hut. That
yep.
that is, it's either Christmas Day or just after Christmas.
Uh, I
Maybe
thought it was Christmas Eve, but maybe you're right.
might be Christmas Eve because I don't think it done the time frame for it to go through
Oh,
the movie. I don't think they have that many days because that they do end up by New Year's. They do go to New Year's Day,
yeah, yeah, it does.
but I don't have the sense of 5 days
That much
passing.
time passing.
Yeah.
It's a good point because I do find it interesting that there would be a nativity play much further on from Christmas, though.
Oh, I was only thinking it's Christmas Day. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's a valid point.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Or
they eventually decide that. Well, they come. Well, sorry, they. Hannah's already keeping this thing.
pretty
Hannah's
much.
staunchly wanting. Yeah, Hannah wants this baby, and Gin I think eventually sort of turns around on the idea, and prompts Miyuki to go and get some water, or to boil some water, and then they send her out to go and buy some water from the shop because they don't want to be doing tap water.
Yeah. Not the tap water they have. And they
No.
so she buys the stuff and uh bumps into some guys when she leaves. She drops a baby book
Yeah.
and she claims it's bullshit, but then takes the book anyway and
Keeps it.
says thanks.
Yeah.
And those guys say, "Oh wait, you're with Gin. Oh, we're not going to hustle you anymore because we don't want any trouble from Gin." And
Which is weird because that's almost like that. I feel like that never really comes back in any way.
not really, but I think Kit kind of realize makes me Mitsuki realize that they are more like a
Miyuki.
family
Yeah.
than what she wants to
Yeah.
admit.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right. It's maybe more to illustrate the fact that like he's really looking out for her, even though he complains about her all the time. Like,
Yeah, I think it's mainly just to highlight that. And then while she's away, Gin confesses that he had a family and he was a, a racer on a bike,
cyclist.
a
Yeah.
cyclist. Yeah, and then he threw a race because he needed money because the kid was apparently
His daughter was sick. Yeah.
and was about to die and couldn't pay the bill, hospital bills. And then the wife did the same thing eventually afterwards, and it was all a big sad story. Uh, and they all bought it.
Well, yeah. I also bought it.
Well, yeah, I
To be
bought it
fair.
too because it's not really brought up more than that. Anyway,
Yeah.
uh,
Needless to
so
say, that comes back later.
yeah, shockingly, there's a lot to unpack in this movie, to be honest.
There is, yeah.
So next day happens. Hannah scarpers because they all agreed that they're going to take the baby to the police, and then she's like, "Nah, I'm going to find the mother, and then if I
Yep.
find the mother, we'll be able to look her in the eye, and if she's truly upset and fraught about this kid, then I'll hand it over to her," type thing. So then they
Yep.
go on their epic quest around Tokyo to find the mother. So they go to
Yes.
the locker because they got a key to our locker in the train
That's right, yeah.
station.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they get that, and then they get some cards for some sleazy business cards for some sleazy establishment for girls and that.
Midori, I think is what it's called.
Hmm? Sorry,
Midori?
Midori? Yeah, yeah.
Or Midori?
I think that's who they
Like,
think she was called, Midori. But that's her
yeah,
stage name.
like the melon liqueur.
Yeah, that's her stage name. I think. Um, and in this scene, I think it's this scene, um, the wife was handing out soup in the soup garden.
She's on the escalators behind and
Yeah, yeah,
sees Hannah with the baby.
yeah, and goes, "Well, she wasn't lying."
She, I guess she was eating for two.
Yeah, even
It's
though,
such a small little thing, but it's very funny.
uh, even though, they're talking about how Hannah is also a man in
Yep.
a obviously quite religious uh soup soup garden, is that what you call it?
Soup kitchen,
Soup kitchen. Yeah, go with soup garden. That was outside.
Olive Garden.
Olive. Oh God.
Because when you're here, you're here.
You're here. Isn't that from Sonic the Hedgehog the movie?
Have you never? Well, yeah, Olive Garden's all over the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie. But
Yeah.
there's like a we gave an AI all of these Olive Garden adverts, and it made this. it's it's a pretty funny script it comes up with, and yeah, the line is Olive Garden because when you're here, you're here, which I always thought was really funny.
Oh, dude. Oh. So they find the pictures of the parents and everything in the sack.
That's right. Yeah. So
uh,
there's another set of keys
mhm.
in there too. And
Oh yeah,
there's the pictures, and that's where they get the bassinet,
that's in it.
the kind of basket, the baby basket.
No,
Because I don't
no,
think
no.
there
The basket was there all the time.
was it.
Yeah, yeah. Gibbons running
I
with
don't
it.
remember. I remember Hannah always holding the baby
That's because she just wanted to
up
hold the
until that
baby.
point, but then after that, I thought they started using the baby basket.
Maybe, but it was in a basket when they found it because that's where they found the first key.
Is it?
Yeah,
I just thought it was wrapped in sheets.
no, it was in a basket.
Mm, fair enough.
And the baby's name, by the way, it was named
Oh,
Kyoki.
I think it's Kyoko.
Kyoko. Yeah, that's
Yep,
about right.
Kyoko, which means pure.
Yeah, and other things because it's a pure night. Um, and
Hannah
then
also likes what do you call them, haikus.
yeah, there's at least two haikus in the movie.
I think the final count is three, and I think we've had one at this point
Aha, I missed that
because
then.
there's one around the baby's name, I think.
Possibly, possibly. So Gin gets a bit upset. It's like, why did you choose that name for when she does that? Because he's like, oh, it's a sweet name. It's a good name. Why is that your
Yep.
ex lover's name or something? And they're like, no,
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 it's not. That much is true.
yeah. And that name gets bounded around in the movie a lot
It does.
because they, after they find that they go get onto a train and they have a big argument on the train again.
Yeah,
And then
because they're on their way to the club.
yeah, which is like in some other side of Tokyo because it's a long walk. They said.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, so on the train to this club, and it stops because of heavy snow in the tracks. Uh,
Yep.
and while it stops, another train passes by or stops next to them as well.
Mm-hmm.
And was it Miyaki?
Miyuki.
Miyuki, that's it. Miyuki is looking out the window and sees this person, and it's like, oh shit, and kind of hides. And the guy totally
Yep.
recognizes Miyuki. Miyuki?
Yep. Yep, Miyuki. And then I think she's like trying to just hopefully deal with it, but then he gets on the phone.
Yeah,
And of course, yeah, the train has stopped because of heavy snowfall and is not going to be moving anywhere too soon.
yeah.
So she just opens the window and bails out.
Yep. And then
Dropping
so
the baby's food in the process.
yeah, I wasn't too sure what was dropped, but yeah, it was their food. And then both of them bail a well, and they're walking along, and then need to rest, and they find a graveyard and start ransacking the offerings to the graves. And it's just so having one of the graves has like baby food on it, because obviously it was for an infant.
And yep,
And
baby food
nappies.
and nappies.
Yeah,
Yep. The other grave had a bottle of Four Roses on it. Oh no, wait. No, it did.
had a bottle of yeah.
There was also a bottle of Four Roses in the locker.
I think that's just the name for the alcoholic drink that they're using.
Oh no, well, Four Roses is a bourbon.
Yeah, I mean, certainly.
There's also, I'm trying to remember. There's a scene where I can't remember specifically where it is, but there's a scene where there's some VHS tapes, like recorded ones, in the scene,
All right.
and one of them says Star Wars on it, which I thought was quite funny.
Oh, I don't know. This.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be easily when they were raking through all the rubbish.
I'm trying to remember where it was. I think it was in. Oh, you know what? We're gonna get to it in a minute.
All right. So yeah, so the bail from the train. They're on a in the graveyard, and Kid starts to have another argument with them, saying, "Yeah, you're all bunch of bums type thing. We should really get rid of this
Yep.
baby." And then they leave. Oh yeah, it was because they didn't have any baby food. It was basically the argument, and then they find the baby food on the
Yep.
grave. Uh,
Baby food and the nappies.
yeah, and then they leave and they go around the corner and find this car just abandoned on the road and say, "What idiot parked that car there? That's just a public freeway, type thing." And then
This
as
is
they're
so
walking
good.
by, they see a guy is like just trapped underneath it.
Yeah, moments away from being crushed by his own car.
Yeah, and they're walking along,
It did
walking
make me
along.
think of the bit where they say, like who parks like that, who leaves their car like that. Reminds me of being in school, and my friend and I were leaving the school, and this person had stopped their car. Like, it's it was easily a foot and a half away from the curb at an angle, on a corner, right?
Uh
And I remember commenting saying, "Oh, that's a rough parking job."
huh.
My friend went, "Not so much parked as abandoned," and the person who owned it was like right there.
What
And the
happened?
thing was, is they kind of looked at us, and it's like, well, we're not the ones that parked this. So
Yeah.
two kids who are not, well, we were old enough to drive but did not have their licenses, commenting on this person's shitty driving.
Ah, yeah. Yeah. Now I'm old enough when I drive and I comment on everyone's shitty drive.
Yep, there's a lot of it out there.
He started young, man. He started young.
Yeah, yeah. I've realized the other day that I've been driving for nearly 20 years, which is, oh boy,
Driving for 20 years.
nearly. Yeah,
Oh, lucky you.
yeah.
I've been driving.
It's a shame the insurance doesn't get cheaper after 10.
No. It only gets more expensive, man, because you get older.
Ugh,
You're in the sweet spot
fuck
at the moment, to
this.
be honest. You're in a bit where it doesn't cost that much, and then another 20 years or so, it'll start creeping up again because you start becoming a liability again. You're in the sweet spot.
You're a danger to yourself and others, so we really need you to take this insurance, and the premium will be expensive.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's like when you first start driving, it's like really high,
Man,
and then
I don't know. I will say this, like, as with, I think, what everybody does, it's like, my young child now drives a car. I should get them their own insurance policy? How much does that cost? £2,000 a year? Yes, I will most definitely pay that and not put them as a named driver on a car I have, a policy I already have, at a significant discount.
Yeah, yeah. I did that for a good number of years.
Yeah, like, because holy shit, though. Like, it is very prohibitive. Like, if you don't have parents that can drive, like, that is so prohibitive.
You just got to get a shitty 1.1, man.
Even, man, I was driving a 1.2. It wasn't like it was anything good. I was driving a Fiesta. My insurance policy, if I was to get my own, would have been £1,600
Yeah, and then you
for
got
a year.
yeah. I know. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and it's worse now. I think.
I haven't paid that. I may have paid that in the last 7 years.
For your insurance policy. Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. I used to put my parents' name on my car insurance policy,
Yeah.
but now they cost me more, so they're not on it anymore.
Oh man.
Put the premium up.
My dad is just at the age where it still counts a little bit.
Yeah.
I think we might be at the end of that sweet spot.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
God, what a mess.
yeah. So
So yeah, this poor guy's getting crushed.
yeah. And he's not a slim guy either. He's really chubby.
No, he's a substantial man.
Yeah. It's probably why he wasn't crushed instantaneously.
Yeah. So it turns out that his car broke down in the hill. They of course pushed the car off of him. Turns out his car breaks down in the hill. He left the handbrake off. It rolled backwards in the snow as well over the top of him.
That's because of the woman was chasing after her dog or something and hits the
That's
car.
right.
It comes down.
Crushes him.
Yeah.
Oh man, poor guy.
Oh man. Yeah, yeah. So he's that, and he says, "Oh, I'll do anything for you," type thing, and he goes like, "Anything you want," and they go, "Well, you don't have to know about this club," and they're like,
Well, he hands them a card that is another club and some money.
"Yeah,
And Hannah's like, well, maybe I should ask this question. It might be rude. And Gin's like, if it's rude, don't ask it. Let's go. But then, of course, yeah, they get into the conversation about the other club. And do you know this person? It's like, know them. And of course, then they end up in the car with this guy. He's like, well, today is the day of my daughter's wedding. It's very Godfather. Yeah, it turns out that one of his men, his guards, because he turns out he's kind of a high baller, like some sort of mafioso, a Yakuza type. It is his daughter's wedding day. She's going to be marrying a kind of cocky, headstrong, annoying guy who works for him.
oh no, she's marrying the head of the club, the owns that club."
Yeah, but does he not work for that guy? Because he owns the clubs?
He doesn't own that club. He know the guy that his daughter's marrying owns the
You're
club.
right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the guy's a sleaze, and he's annoying, and he doesn't like him. But as Gin points out, is like, well, does your daughter love him? It's like, well, surely that's all that matters. It's like, yeah, I guess.
That's it. You hit the nail in the spot. Right thing. I don't think was that
Yep.
Kim? Was that
I think
was it not a hammer?
it was.
Anyway, and he's
No,
like totally
I
not
think it was
paying attention to the road at the time. He's like literally head in the back of the car with them, going, "Yeah, that's great. You're hitting the nail. I'm not so upset about this whole thing anymore," type thing. And he hammers on for like a minute while all you see, because it's got the camera angle in his head and the windscreen, and all you see is like this bus
The
or
back
something.
of a truck.
Bus or a truck or something, slowly.
It's
getting
just them going,
closer.
oh no, keep your eyes on the road, keep your eyes on the road, keep your eyes on the road. And then, of course, scene changes to them arriving at the wedding.
Yeah.
And we see he's like, well, I made it I almost died. To his daughter, it's like, I almost died, but I'm here. And you have these homeless people to thank for that. And it turns out that his daughter's name is Kyoko.
Yeah, she's also Kyoko.
Yeah.
Aye, but not the Kyoko.
No, but it obviously seems like a bit of a coincidence.
Hmm.
And then, as we're going down the line of coincidences, we see the man that she's about to marry, who Gin recognizes.
Yeah, and they're at this point. I think they're starting to mention how lucky the baby is.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because they were sitting down having some food from the wedding at the side, and then of course the baby starts to cry, and it's Miyuki's turn to change the baby.
Yeah, so they take the
So
baby.
she ends up in the bathrooms with the baby, and this, she's changing her, and she's like, "Well, I'm sorry, I spilled your food."
Pretty much. She's mailing him out now.
Yeah,
Um,
and yeah, they start to. He sees this guy, and all of a sudden a red mist starts to descend.
yeah, it's like, I mean, lucky we found this, and it's like, oh wait, this guy. Oh God,
Yep,
I know this guy.
and this is the guy who told him that he had a way for him to make money on pulling the bicycle race.
Yeah, that's the story. I think did it change? Oh yeah, he's the one that.
That's the story. We're still on that story right now.
Yeah, yeah. It's
This
not.
is the guy. This is the guy that's responsible for telling me he had a good way for me to make money.
Yeah,
And if it weren't for him, I would still be with my wife and kid. And that's when Hannah says, "Is like, but they're dead." He's like, "That doesn't matter." He's like clutching this bottle,
yeah,
clearly about to like properly brain him.
yeah. Glass him with the bottle.
Yeah, there's a Britishism for you.
Yeah, this if you're in a pub and someone's like gets you with
Yeah,
a pint glass or any glass object, you're getting a glassing.
you've been glassed.
You've been
Yeah,
glassed.
you've been glassed is not a good TV show.
It might be.
I don't know. It sounds real bad.
You've been glassed.
You've been glassed. It's just a guy. He's like, "You've been glassed," and then just bails out.
Yeah, it's almost like the Tango adverts.
I was gonna say it's like the British version of punked.
Yeah, but Tango adverts before that, man. That's when they had to stop banning.
Yeah, but that's all. That's also British.
Yeah, or they started came out and some guy in like orange makeup and
Yeah,
some random shit on his face and just goes
slap.
on the side of your
You've been
head.
tangled.
But kids were getting it wrong so badly that they were deafening people because they were slapping people's ears.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then they,
Can't have nice things.
I think they changed up just to have an inflatable rubber latex glove and just rub it on people's faces instead.
Which really didn't help because people then did that, but with just their hand.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you know, but yeah, he is literally about to pounce, it would seem, and smack this guy upside his head when all of a sudden a waitress drops a tray, revealing a 9mm, and just fucking unloads on him.
Yeah. Well, actually, tries to unload on the guy that
Well,
saved.
on the boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And this guy jumps in, and
Um,
saves him.
I must admit that very much took me. I was taken aback by how quickly that changed. I didn't think this movie would be like that. Um, and it really just kind of, whoa, okay, this is taking a turn.
Yeah.
Because it's very visceral,
Mm-hmm.
like that scene. and but then it sort of changes very quickly to like almost comedic because Gen just leans over and goes, "Oh, are you okay?" to the guy who's just been shot multiple times.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I don't know. It shouldn't be funny, but it's really funny. He's like, "Oh, are you okay?"
Yeah. I
It's like,
mean,
no.
he was literally about to like smash his brains in with a champagne
Now
bottle.
he's interested. Now he's interested to know if he's all right after he's been shot several times.
Yeah. Um,
What a
lying there.
mess.
And then this is where Miyuki comes back in after changing the baby, hears the gunshots, comes in,
Yep.
and goes, "What the shit?" And then this maid comes by her, and then kind of like grabs her, and then
Yep.
holds her
Holds
hostage,
her and the baby hostage.
and
Yeah.
then gives her tinnitus because she fires the gun right next to her ear.
That's right.
Because, by the way,
The
guys,
gunshots are really cool in this.
yeah,
It's very it's nicely shot. The one thing, like, I suppose we should say is like the animation of this is like, as much as I'm not a really big fan of the character style in a lot of instances,
mm-hmm.
the animation is gorgeous.
Yeah,
It just it flows. It feels like really lovingly rotoscoped.
yeah.
It feels like they filmed a movie and then just drew over the top of it.
I don't think it's that.
No, but like, you know what?
Yeah,
Like, just like I
it
say, it
it
is
flows.
in a way that they obviously put some effort and money into, like, you know, like the animation flows in a way where it's like, no, that's not just like 12 images a second. It's like that might not even be 24 images a second. You're really making sure that there's detail
Yeah.
to the animation. It was nice. It was nice to see that level of quality.
Oh yeah, it's certainly a high budget movie, anime movie. I mean, I think it's was it Paprika? Is that another movie?
Paprika.
Yeah, Paprika. I think it might be the same artist that did that. Just going by like looking at
Yeah,
the style of
I
Miyuki.
think you might be right. I have also never watched Paprika.
It's a pretty good movie. Bonkers, but pretty
I should
good.
watch Paprika.
We should watch
I should also
Paprika.
watch. I've also never watched Perfect Blue.
You never watched Perfect Blue? That's
Nope.
a Halloween special.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, it's fucking
we commit to that. Commit to that now for next year then.
yeah, sure. Well,
Okay.
I mean, it's only like 10 months away.
Yeah,
Things can
plenty of time
change.
to plan, right?
Things can change.
Well, God willing, we're still doing this, right?
Yeah, and hoping because it's something to
Yeah,
do during
of course.
lockdown 5.
Well, yeah, Electric Jive.
It rains. Lockdown
I
3 was Electric Boogaloo, yeah?
Yeah, one of the reasons I wanted to do this podcast in the first place was that I just didn't find enough time to watch anime.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same and not the same because I watch it all the time. I don't watch real life stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I did, and we'll get back onto this very quickly. I have started watching Platinum End,
Platinum End.
the one about the humans and the battle royale to become God.
Oh, yeah, you were talking about that last week. Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
it's interesting.
Well, I watched. Oh, I watched, what was it? The Hello Kitty thing. Argetzel. Argetzel?
Retsuko,
Yeah, there's a new
the
season
red
of that
panda
out.
that does death metal karaoke.
Yeah, I think the fourth season's
hmm
out now.
hmm
I think it's the fourth. Yeah, it's fourth.
So to get back online, sorry, I took us off course.
Oh, that's all right.
That's how this happens these days. And basically, uh, Miyuki and and Kyoko are held at gunpoint and forced into a taxi by what is not actually a woman, but a man in a wig.
Yeah, she only speaks Spanish or um,
Yeah, which was
Portuguese.
not subtitled.
No, well, that's fine.
Nope.
That carries because like the actual other characters don't understand them either. Like,
Yeah, for me the thing was is like I said, I was watching it 1.5 times, and that language was fast before then,
it
and I
always
was like,
is.
"Is that? Are they speaking English, and that's why it's not subtitled?" And I was like really listening intently to it. It's like, I don't know any of those words. What is this?
No, no, it's Spanish or uh, Hispanic language anyway. But yeah, it's I rewinded at that point myself because it's like, was that meant to be English because there's no subtitles? Because the way they end the conversation is she goes, "Yes, okay," in English.
Yep, in English. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
and it's like,
Uh,
was that in English? And then no, it was Spanish.
no.
Yeah, so
So yeah, they end up being driven away. Uh, Hannah and Gin sort of follow on foot.
yeah, chase them down and then have
Yep.
a big argument. But she's taken to like some weird heroin den because she stands
But
on a
when they're
needle.
running away, Gin Gin like they're like properly full on sprinting, and there's just this really great bit of camera work where the camera's following Hannah, who's obviously just in front,
Mhm.
and Gin just like falls face first and tumbles over to the side because he's just like too tired. But Hannah keeps running, and I love the fact that there's zero camera change. It's just him tumbling and falling away into the darkness as it continues to go. This is really good.
Yeah, it's good camera work in this. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's cool. And yeah, as you say, they end up in some sort of weird crack den where I believe the first words that are uttered is big breasts.
Yeah, she says, "Big breasts, cool."
Cool.
Yeah,
And it's a Hispanic woman who is breastfeeding not only Kyoko but her own baby. I assume. I
uh,
hope
yeah, her. Yeah, I think it's her own baby. And
because one of them has to be right.
yeah, and she doesn't speak any English either. Japanese, I should say,
No.
either,
Yeah.
and it's all Hispanic again, with no subtitles. Even though they eventually bond a recourse through it all, they somehow
They bond over the fact that the woman's father is a policeman, and it turns out Kyoko's father is also a policeman,
yeah,
but that makes her very sad. And then we kind of cut back to Hannah
Jin,
and Gin,
yeah,
who are arguing.
yeah, because Hannah was like, "Oh, we gotta go," and they phoned the taxi company. I went, "Yeah, it was this taxi, and they got this. Can you get it diverted to Tokyo Tower, please?" Type thing. And then they
Yeah,
hung up, like, "Go away."
yeah,
And then
yeah. Stop stalking people.
Gin says, "Right, that's it, hopeless. We can't find them. No way we're going to find these people," type thing, and giving up. And Hannah goes, "Well, go and die in a gutter then. I don't care anymore," type
Yep.
thing, and goes off in his own way. And then I think Gin gets some alcohol from somewhere again.
He gets more Four Roses.
Yeah,
Uh, Starts drinking it up, and well, Hannah still tries to find Kyoko and Miyuki.
yeah.
Um, and then uh, this is where Gin finds a passed out homeless man in the middle of the snow.
Ah, ah. So I want to intercourse there. Just before then, Hannah was calling them trash. And
Oh
then
yeah, that's right.
there's a point where he goes out to a policeman and goes, I'd like to throw some trash away. and the policeman comes out with the
Oh,
bin,
that's right.
and he says, "I don't think I'll fit in
Yep.
there."
Yeah, that's right. That's amazing. That's really
And then
amazing.
the police officer goes like, "All right," and
Oh,
then
it's
just
so
puts it
good.
back, and then yeah, then he finds a homeless man in the park.
Yeah, you're right. Because
It's quite sad.
he's drinking his sorrows away, and he
Mhm.
finds the old guy, who clearly doesn't have much time left.
Yeah,
And he's like, "Hey, one last thing. Let me get a drink of that booze."
pretty much. And then
And he squirrels him away in the kind of the bin house type place in the park.
no, I think it's just his homeless den. I thought.
Yeah. And
Um,
kind of is clearly trying to warm him up, and he's drinking, and he's like, "Well, I don't have long left."
pretty
And he,
much.
he asks for one more last request,
Mm-hmm.
and it's to take this bag of money. I don't know what it is.
The bag kind of shows who he is or something like
Right.
that, and I don't want people to know who I am, so you got to get rid of
Yeah,
it.
that's right.
And then he kind of keels over and goes, oh, and then Gin kind of goes, all right, he's dead. That's cool. I can go. And then he's about to like close his eyelids as he do, and then he just goes,
He pulls
"Blah."
his hand over his face. It's so amazing because he draws his hand over his eyes like they're about to close, or like he's closing them, and instead of when his hand wipes past, instead of them being shut, they're just like
Wider
wide
open.
awake.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh fuck!" And he's like, "Okay, one last request,
Yeah. More booze.
more booze, please." And then he actually does die.
Yeah, and then he says goodbye at that point. And then
Yeah.
King gets out,
Yep.
and I think we died at that point. He could have just fallen asleep for all I know, because he closes his eyes at that
Yeah.
point.
I'm pretty sure he's dead, but yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But then when King gets out the place, there's a bunch of punks. They're like, "Oh, we're doing some New Year tidying up,
Uh, taking out the trash.
taking out the trash," and then start beating up King and drag the old codger
I
out.
I did not like this scene.
Oh, it's harsh. It's harsh because nothing happens to
It's
them.
just it's really occasionally the movie takes some very dark look like a dark look at certain things, and like the idea of like just really just the guy tries to do a fucking karate kick and just falls flat in his arse, and then they'll just come and hit Gin with metal pipes until he's on the ground and like kick him in the face. And then yeah, like you say, like they drag this poor guy's corpse out of the house and start wailing on it with a metal pipe.
Uh, I don't think they get to the point of wailing on it. They're trying to wake him up. It's like, wake up, old dude, wake up, not realizing
He
he's
does
dead.
the guy hits that guy, that guy who drags him out hits the corpse with a metal pipe.
Does it? And then one of the guys is on the phone, essentially goes,
Yeah.
"All right, let's go, guys. The girls are in a place not far from here." And they're like, "All right, cool,"
Yep. And they just leave.
and just leave, and that's it. And Gin's
No
kind of
fucking comeuppance.
yeah, Gin was just trying to walk away at that point,
Yeah.
and then they grabbed his leg.
Although they take something from him. It falls out. Is it the picture?
Oh, of his daughter, and that it was something special, but it might be. I'm not sure if something happens in the sense because it's something special to him. It's like you can't take that type thing.
Yeah. And then he tries to follow them.
I only think so because you don't see any of that. He certainly tries to get to the park and tries to follow and crawls to
Yeah.
a location. In an
He's doing a lot of
alleyway,
bleeding, and he's
and
not looking so good.
yeah,
Because now we sort of go back to Hannah, who is running through the streets screaming Miyuki and Kyoko.
oh, she gets in the taxi. She gets the taxi
Oh
driver.
yeah, that's right. Sorry, you're right. So, yeah, first of all, she's in the taxi, and saying it's like so we're here. It's like cool. I'll pay you as soon as I get out.
Yeah, I'll be back. Wait here, I'll be back. Type thing.
Yeah, and then she starts screaming, and of course, uh, Miyuki hears the screaming from inside the room, and yeah, all of a sudden there's just Hannah's face right up against the open window.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, she opens the curtains and she's there. But
yeah,
before that, Yuki's having a dream. She has a dream about being in her house and what happened between her and her dad, where she's stabbed him because of a
that's right.
cat.
She stabbed her dad.
Um,
Yeah, because yeah, her and the Hispanic woman are looking through pictures of Miyuki's, and there's the cat
yeah,
she used to have.
yeah, called Angel. Um,
Yeah,
and she scored out her dad's face and stuff. And she stabbed him because says, "Oh, you don't listen to me," type thing. It's kind of the reason why I stabbed you. And then she's also run away at that point because it was like proper stabbing in the kidney.
she does, however, say is like, "Here, take the scarf I made for you and stop the bleeding."
Yeah, she also didn't want him to die. She just stabbed him for some reason. Anyway, so
Yeah,
that's that. And then this is a dream she's having. And then within the dream, it's Hannah and Gin appear. Gin is the father, and Hannah's the mother. The
yeah,
mother's cowering in the back
that's right.
of what's happening in the
Yeah,
big argument.
she was praying.
Yeah, and then Hannah, they kind of have things like, "Are you guys in my house?" type thing, because we're family type. And then Hannah's running around, and she's starting to lose blood. Because I think that's she puts her hand on like a wall, and there's a bit of trickling liquid of blood,
Yeah,
and that goes into the dream sequence. And then the kid wakes Kyoko wakes up and they start crying, and Hannah goes, "That's Kyoko," and runs to find the sound, and that's how she finds
yeah, that's
Miyuki.
right.
And then she also the
You're
thing
right.
is
You're
like,
right. Yeah.
and then they
And
leave.
of course, the Hispanic woman is sort of rather concerned at first, of course, because there's this crazy person stood at their window.
Yeah, yeah. And then they leave and go and get back in the taxi, and they stop. It says, "Oh, there's only
Well,
one place to go or something."
Miyuki asks first of all, where's Gin? And Hannah says, he could be dead for all I care.
Yeah,
And then it cuts to him going, oh, I'm dying.
yeah, yeah,
And of course, he then collapses to where he sees some sort of angel in front of him. It's like, can I help you? Or would you like me to call an ambulance? Or it's like, would you like me to help you with my love or call you an ambulance?
Wait, with my magic or call me an ambulance. And he goes,
Yeah.
"Ambulance."
And he's like, ambulance. Like, oh, how rude.
Yeah.
It's really, really pissed off. Yeah, it's such a weird and funny scene.
It's all
And yeah,
glowy
you're
as
right. And
well.
then it sort of gets to, sorry.
She's all glowy at the start, and then when he goes ambulance,
Yeah,
the glow's gone.
stops glowing. But yeah, then we Hannah and Miyuki end up heading to what we find out, I suppose, is a place from the past for Hannah.
Yeah, yeah, they end up there, and she doesn't have enough to pay the taxi driver, but starts chatting him up, I think, to like put him off.
Yeah. It's pretty good as well. It's like because I like my men tall with a a tanned complexion, squared off haircut, and who when I don't have enough money for a taxi fare says that's just fine.
Yeah, and a deep accent of some sort. Yeah,
Oh,
because
it's so good.
that's spawned by Miku saying, "You love Gin," and
Yeah.
Hannah's
Oh
like
yeah, that's right.
flatly goes, "No, it's not. He's not
Definitely
the type of
not.
guy."
But also probably.
Yeah, yeah. So they get to the door of this place, and she was like, "This is someplace I thought I would never return to." And she opens up,
Yeah.
And this person goes, "Oh, sorry, it's a private party tonight. No visitors." It's like, "Oh, hey, mother." And
Yep.
she goes, "Hannah." And then they kind of have a big, uh, thoughtful reunion of like, "I thought I'd never see you again,"
Yeah.
type thing. "I thought I'd never come back."
So I'm going to assume this is her drag mother.
Yeah, drag mother, I
I
think.
don't. Well, so I don't understand a lot about that culture, so I won't pretend to know. But in the game Murder by Numbers, uh, that I played,
Uh-huh.
one of the cases that you go through is a murder outside of a drag bar,
Okay.
and one of the people that works at it, who's a suspect, refers to the owner of the bar as their drag mother because they were the one who helped them become who they were. I suppose is the way
Yeah,
it works.
I suppose that's maybe it. Yeah, I mean, certainly she's
Just because, like, it wouldn't be her mother because they're like more similar ages, I would have thought anyway. But also at the same time, like she did say very specifically, like she never had a mother.
yeah, she certainly was going from place to place and has referenced that a few times. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, yeah, so they have a big kind of heartful reunion type thing, and then Miki spots like the old man on one of the benches in the club.
Yep.
Goes, "This old man." It's like,
Yep.
what? Oh, I should also mention that Miki's stopped being isn't as abusive as much.
Bratty.
Bratty, yeah, she's not as bratty
She's
as she is to
no.
him. Because she used to call Hannah old hag, but then I think she starts calling her
It's
Hannah.
Uncle Bag. Uncle
Uncle
Bag.
Uncle Bag. Yeah.
Yeah, is what she called her. And I think you're right because it changes to a more respectful thing. And you're
Yeah.
right, that's kind of happening like gradually as we go along, as they see as Miyuki starts to see how the lengths that Gin and Hannah will go to make sure that she's safe.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like they are their own dysfunctional little family, the three of them,
Yep.
whether any of them care to admit that or not.
I think Hannah does all the time.
Yeah, I think it's Hannah realizes it, and that's nice. And I think Gin wishes it wasn't true, and I think Miyuki doesn't care or didn't care.
Not at the start, but she's just a teenager. Uh,
Yeah,
and that's what teenagers do. Anyway, so yeah, they find the old man, and then Hannah instantly bursts, separates from her mother reunion. Goes, "Again, oh my
yep.
God, I thought I'll lost you." And Miki goes, "Yep, yep, you do love him," type thing.
Then
Uh,
we kind of we get into a bit of backstory for Hannah, talking about how she really enjoyed working at this drag bar,
mhm.
where there was cabaret and drinks, and till one night where she maybe punched a guy
She certainly
for
assaulted the
being
guy
mean.
who she was doing a wee song and dance, and then tossed her wine glass into his lap, and he got really annoyed.
Yeah,
And then he was like,
yeah,
"Oh, you old hag, you old fart," type thing. And it's like,
yeah.
I don't mind about the other, but calling me a fart is not acceptable. I'm getting you.
Which has also happened because Gin has made the same mistake. Oh, not Gin, sorry, Miyuki at the start.
Yeah.
She calls Hannah an old fart, and that sets her off. But we never but then she's totally chill again
Yeah.
after that. So it's interesting to see like the origin of why that's the way that is.
Yeah.
Um,
It's,
but yeah, then of course she's like, well, that's why I thought I could never come back. I could never come back after doing that.
yeah.
And then the drag mother's like, well, no, money made that go away.
Yeah.
You could have come back.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't have any hassle after that. And
Yeah. She finds out Hannah's homeless as well, is the other thing, because she didn't know that.
oh yeah, she did know that. Yeah. What you been doing? Oh, I'm actually homeless. I was like, what? Yeah. She also mentioned that in the background there's a whole kind of like story unraveling in the background behind the scenes of these characters. For example, it starts off with like news reports going, "Oh, there's been a shooting, been a bit of a gang war between the boss
Yeah,
and this other faction, and we're looking for this other dude," and stuff like that. And there is
yeah,
things happening in the background that they're witnessing but not really being part of fully.
yeah. They're present but not aware
Yeah, yeah,
to most of it, even though they've been involved in a lot of it.
yeah, yeah. And there's
Weirdly,
a few keynotes that come up later in the movie as well.
yeah.
With it all, because they do talk to the owner of the club before he gets shot,
Yes, they do.
which we didn't mention. So they know
Oh yeah, that's true.
the actual name.
They know the woman.
Yeah, and I think did they get the address off him?
No, because they get the address by looking at the photo and figuring out because of the two buildings.
Oh yeah, because when Gim's with the old man, as he's about to leave,
Yep.
he notices
He notices the buildings as he's leaving the hut.
what is it, like a newspaper snippet?
It's the photo of the couple outside the house has
Yeah,
that in the background.
yeah, but I think he also picks up, or did he see it from the window of the shack? Anyway, so they find their way there, and they had to leave the safe house for some reason sooner than later.
Can't remember why, but they do go.
Yeah, I'm sure Gin also then elaborates a bit more that his daughter and wife isn't dead, as he said before. At this point,
No,
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 because that happens.
that happens.
That happens later on.
Yeah, okay, okay.
Because Hannah gets super mad about that.
No, Han gets super mad about that. But he has elaborated a bit more
Has he
on
already
his.
elaborated on that at that point?
I'm sure he's elaborated in the club. He does state that.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, the guy who got shot, who who it turns out has survived
Mhm.
the attack so far. He's in
Mhm.
critical condition,
Yeah, in the
but is
hospital.
not dead.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. Is that he mentions it's like actually that my wife isn't dead and my daughter's not dead. I'm just not in their lives anymore because I'm an arsehole.
very
It's
much.
kind
Yeah.
of is like yeah, I was there at a track, but not that kind of track.
No,
And
no, he was. Or was is that later when they actually get to the house? It might come back because of that, because of how they were mentioned. Anyway, so from there they leave and they make their way
to the
no
house.
to the house, but they stop in a shop. I think they stop in a shop at this point, and then Mayuki goes out and tries to make a phone call to her. No, wait, that's after that. No, I think they go to the house first.
They go to the house because this is one of my favorite bits in the whole movie.
All right.
Is because they arrive at the house and it's a derelict. And they're like, "Oh, maybe it's not it." They they're kind of looking at it and it's like, "Oh, I don't know." And then you see Gin and he just walks away dejectedly, and you're like, "Oh man, he's taking this pretty hard." But then he just like instead of exiting the scene, just kind of because all you've got is basically what the kind of remnants of a front wall and a door, the front door,
Yeah, the front door.
and yeah, and he walks away, and they're still stood in what I imagine is like the entry part to the house, like inside it because the wall's torn down.
Mm-hmm.
He takes the keys that he found, opens the door. He's like, "Yep, this is the place." Walks through it and just says, "Honey, I'm home." And then
Yeah,
the door just collapses over behind him.
yeah.
It's so good.
The falls out the thing. Yeah, I mean, before that though, they were actually camping in like the scaffold next to the building, like an empty place with all the cats.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Miki
that's right.
is sent out to go get some supplies, and then she walks and it goes,
That's
"Wait,
yes,
that's the house." And then got the guys around, and it's like, "All right."
yeah. But is that not the bit where she makes the phone call?
No, no, because they start rummaging around the house, and there's
Oh, this is the bit with the videotapes. This is the bit with the VHS tapes.
oh, is it in there in the ruined house?
Yeah, I think it's Miyuki is looking at some stuff upstairs,
Hmm.
and yeah, there's like a bunch of old VHS tapes, and one of them says Star Wars on it.
Well, and so the neighbors come and start speaking to them. Say, "Oh, yeah, you're
That's right.
homeless. Oh, do you know these people? Oh, why, you debt collectors?" Like, "No, no, we're just friends of a relative."
Oh no, are you family?
Yeah, yeah, and no, no, we're just friends of a relative holding the baby.
Yep.
Um, and then they're like, "Oh, I don't know anything. Maybe such and such will know." And then like, "Yeah, yeah, this guy was like a gambler, an addict, a drunkard. He's in all sort of
Yep.
debts." And this is where I think Gen then kind of owns up to that's kind of his lifestyle,
That's his thing. Yeah.
and that's what he was, and that's why when they started slagging off the guy being useless, is he kind of gets like he kind of like hits him.
Yep.
He coils from like the insults that they gave to the guy because he
Yep.
realizes that's him.
It's him
Um,
basically. Yeah.
and then so basically it's like, "Oh, do you know where they're going?" And I was like, "No, we'll speak to some other person." And they have like a big crowd of neighbors and say, "All right, yeah, I think they went over to here." But then they started rummaging around and they find the address in the rubble to go to.
Yep.
And Gin was like, "Ah, you wouldn't know. They might not be there anymore. Who's to say that they've moved on again?" And I think that maybe in here, Miki finds a newspaper clipping. It's basically from her dad saying Angel came back. Because I don't know where she picks it up from,
Ah.
but so they start going to this other location, and they stop in a shop, like a chemist or something, and sit down there for like an entire day. And Miki
That's
goes,
right. Yeah, they go to a chemist
"Yeah,
and sit in the chairs at the window.
yeah," and Miki goes, I'm going out. I got something to do." Type thing. "Oh, okay." So she goes and phones the parents and does the whole pick up the phone and is like, "Shit, I can't talk to them. Hang up." Type thing, and
Yeah.
then just kind of coils in the ground saying sorry, and she then reveals that she's got this newspaper clipping saying Angel came back, which was the cat.
Yeah. So the whole reason the argument happened in the first place didn't matter. It was that she blamed her dad for something that was never his fault.
But it seemed that way, yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? He threw the cat out and it just went wandering.
Yeah. Maybe.
You know,
Maybe. But I
cats are
suppose it's that
cats.
thing of like, well, doesn't it may have the thing it doesn't really go into is like, maybe he didn't like the cat in the first place and maybe it just seemed a bit suspicious.
Yeah, I think maybe that's it. I was should also mention that there was a bunch of cats in like the abandoned building that was next to the old
That's right.
wreckage, and again makes a joke about, "Oh, I could really go with some meat," and
And he gets a fucking can in the face for it.
I was like, "I can." I wasn't sure what I was throwing. Oh no, there's a
Whatever it
cat,
was,
and
yeah, it gets a relatively large object thrown at his face
I think it was a cat.
for his trouble. Was it a cat?
I think it might have been a cat. It was a cat. It was
Oh
a black
shit!
cat sitting next to him because they're all like going
There are a lot of cats.
to Ken because of the comment and they didn't like it.
Amazing.
Anyway, so they're on their way. She does that. Some guy starts arguing in the thing. Says, "You guys should probably leave the shopkeeper goes, "You guys should leave," and uh, the guy goes, "Yeah, you stink," type thing, blah blah blah, and
Yeah.
and then they leave, and then the guy kind of follows them out. It's like, "Nah, I'm not dealing with this," type thing, and have a big fight. When an ambulance just like careers off the road into the shop window right behind them, and everyone
I
wants it.
I like it's mental, but I love the bit where the guy like you're like holy shit, and the ambulance driver gets out of the front seat of the ambulance is like call an ambulance.
Yeah,
It's like you are an ambulance.
I know. That's what I thought. And then
That's so good.
the shopkeeper and like the other guy just walks away in shock. It's like, oh, no need to
Yeah.
fight now.
Holy shit. Yeah, they just like abandoned that super quick.
They just go, what?
Um
Yeah. And
yeah,
then
this crazy.
call an ambulance. Is there not? There's not been like other instances where they're walking by passerbyers and they've essentially all kind of like were in trouble. So like Jen also said like took the old guy to his bed and says who an old guy stayed when he was dying. It's like on my deathbed, I want to be drunk in a big house type thing.
A big house.
And then
50% of the way there.
yeah, 50% of the way there. So he got drunk when he was about to pass. And then also you got the baby. They picked up the baby. They rescued the guy under the car. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I don't think there's anything else prior to that. Anyway,
No.
at this point when the ambulance crashes through the window, Hannah kind of collapses,
Yeah, that's right.
and they took it. Oh, we also didn't mention that Hannah. The reason Hannah's kind of like life went to shit is because Ken died.
Her Uncle Ken. Yeah.
Was it our Uncle Ken?
I think she said Uncle Ken died. I don't know if it's a direct relation or if it's just
Oh, I thought there was.
another term.
Yeah, I thought they were kind of lovers. Anyway, so Ken died, and because the mother goes, "Was it AIDS?"
That's right. Yeah, she does say
And
that.
she goes, "No, it was a bar of soap."
Yeah, that's right.
Because they also slipped the soap in like the bath or the shower, and like, and then
Shit.
and
All
they
way
were
to
like,
go.
"Ah, life's fragile" type thing. Anyway, so she's in the hospital, and there's a doctor there, uh, looking over and says like, "Oh, she just kind of needs rest and was it rest and food or stuff or
She
something?"
needs nutrition, rest and nutrition, and Gin takes exception to this because he's like, I don't know if you've noticed, but we're homeless.
Yeah,
He's like, well, I'm a doctor. I can't fix that.
I can't fix the
And he's
rest
like,
out.
well, nutrition's not, like lifestyle is not something we can control.
Yeah,
He's like, well, we all have our own problems.
yeah, and then he gets up and it looks like he's got like a brace on
Like
his
a leg
leg.
brace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Riku's kind of waiting in the reception area, and this nurse comes up, starts talking about the baby. So, oh, ain't that cute? That baby's cute. I'm Kyoko, says the
Oh,
nurse.
I know. She says no. It's she's like, "Are you the mother?" And she's like, "No." It's like, "Oh, what's the baby's name?" It's Kyoko. It's like, "Oh, that's my name too."
Yeah, something like that.
So it's the third name, the third person who's been named that in this movie.
Yep. Um, and then so Hannah gets kind of like rejected out the ejected out the hospital, and they had to pay a 30, almost a 30, uh,
30,000 yen.
yeah, bill because they don't have medical insurance because obviously they're homeless. Um, and and this the receptionist is taking the money is there, and then the nurse walks by,
Yep.
Kyoko, and they kind of stare into each other's eyes. Because the 30,000 yen was meant to be for Gen's daughter Kyoko,
Yeah.
and then
Which both Gin and Hannah are actually very upset about having to
yeah,
spend.
yeah, he didn't like the idea because he was tearing up, and he's like, "Stop tearing up! We get the money wet."
Yeah.
Anyway, so he pays it up, and Kyoko then appears in front of him, and his eyes widen and stuff like that. His pupils dilate and goes, and she goes, "Hi, Dad. Hi, Kyoko."
Yep.
And then they have a big.
They get to have a little bit of a reunion.
Mhm.
And this is the bit you were talking about earlier, where he's not telling her he's homeless. He's not telling her anything real about anything, and Hannah starts to get quite incensed about how much he's keeping from her, and then just kind of unloads a whole lot of truth.
Yeah, yeah, a whole lot of truth on him. And then kind of storms out with Miku again, leaving
And
Ken.
Kyoko as well, the
Yeah,
baby Kyoko.
yeah, and
Uh, Kyoko, sorry, Miyuki, um, seems kind of a bit on Gin's side of like that seemed a bit much, uh, and I think it's like if I understand it correctly, I think Hannah's intent is like, look, they need to go. She either needs to forgive him for this or not, because
yeah,
otherwise they're never going to have a relationship. So one way or another, there'll be an outcome to this, and it will be what's best either way.
yeah. That's kind of like Miku kind of like says, "I don't think that's good. That was the right thing to do," type thing. And then it's like the story, this fairy tale about the Red Devil and
Red
the Red
Devil and the
Devil.
Blue Devil.
Yeah, and basically talk about how this Red Devil wanted to have friends, but no one would go near him because
Yep.
he's a devil. And then the Blue Devil
Yep.
came up and said, "I got this great idea. How about I'll attack the village, and then you save the village, and then people will like you."
Yep. And then I'll leave.
Yeah, and Hannah was like, "I'm the Blue Devil," in
Yep.
the analogy. Um,
It's quite sweet, and it is sort of a kind of a genuinely sad moment, because obviously there is that thing where there's obviously something between the two of them, whether it's not whether it's reciprocal from Gin's perspective or not. Like, he obviously cares a great deal.
yeah. Oh, I mean, certainly paid the hospital bill for her
Oh,
with that
like
money.
without question either. Not even like you
Yeah,
know, not even questioning it. The money was there, and it was going to be used to pay for that.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, then we see Gin talking a little bit more to his daughter Kyoko,
mhm.
and she explains she's about to get married to that doctor with the leg brace,
Yeah,
and he's like, "Isn't he like my age? Hang on a minute." And then she's like, "But I would like it if you would, if you can, to call," and gives Gin her number
yeah,
to be in touch. And I think that's the kind of the sign of the forgiveness, is like, well, all that being true, I'd still like to talk to you,
hmm. And then
which was kind of nice.
yeah, it's basically the heart. Well, forgiveness is there. And the other thing that Miki states is that, oh, we left Gin. He's got the address for this place that we're trying to look for. Uh, and Gin's also picked up the thing and was like, oh, he's sitting there watching the numbers. And also, a news broadcast appears
Lottery.
talking about the missing baby.
That's right. Well, we don't get that at this point. We get the lottery, I think, at this point,
Yeah, which is all
because it's the
ones.
lottery is like, hey, holy shit, all ones. How about that?
Yeah,
Uh, and then we kind of cut back to Hannah and Miyuki, and they're having a conversation about Kyoko and what to do, And in the background, this woman, they're walking over a bridge, and this woman just kind of is like, just get up on the ledge here.
Yeah.
And Hannah all of a sudden goes, oh, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
And they both kind of like run over and drag her down from the ledge.
Yeah.
And at that point, the woman locks eyes with the baby, and just all of that sadness and frustration, where it's like, please just let me die, goes away, and it's like, that's the baby, that's my baby. You're like, holy shit, what would it like? And again, we've been seeing these miracles as it is, like all the way through this, like them getting up from the seats just in time for the ambulance not to smash them to pieces, or them finding the baby food and the nappies when they needed them in the graveyard, and like the just the kind of small little things that have been happening to keep them on the straight and narrow.
Saving the guy from under the car.
Exactly, yeah. Like led them to a whole new thing. It got them fed for a start, and it all kind of, and it was like, oh my god, it's been leading to this moment where the next miracle is they're going to stop this poor woman from killing herself because she's so guilt ridden over abandoning her child.
Yeah.
And then but this, like, again, some parts of the movie that kind of went, oh, okay, is she's like, so you're the mother of this baby, says Hannah. It's like, yeah, that's my smack.
Yeah.
Like, poor woman has just tried to kill herself, and Hannah's like, I'm having none of this shit.
Yeah.
And just fucking cracks her.
Moments before that, she was stating like, yeah, I'm happy enough to give it back to her type thing. I'll forgive her straight away type thing. And Miko's like, I
Yeah.
thought you were going to forgive her. I was like, no, can't.
Turns out I can't.
Yeah. And then, yeah.
And like, she does kind of unload a little bit again as well, where it's like, holy shit, this baby is only alive because we found it. It would have frozen to death if it wasn't for us. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, pretty much. And then she says, well,
and of course, yeah.
It wasn't me, it was my husband.
Yeah. He put me, he did all this. I just, I just want to find my daughter.
Yeah.
And then we cut back to her. Well, she, like, is handed the baby.
Mm-hmm.
She walks away. Hannah and Yuki feel fulfilled and that they have done their duty.
Mm-hmm.
And we cut back to the news, which says, hey, so like baby got kidnapped by this couple the other day. And Gin's like, oh no. No.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We're gonna be labeled as kidnappers.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And then kind of peels out of the hospital as quickly as possible.
He gets a bike at this point, doesn't he?
He does. He steals a bike from the front of the hospital.
And hightails it to
this
the
is where
address.
chaos ensues. Yeah, this is where the madness happens. And of course, you've got Kamiki and Hannah are just kind of like talking, and all of a sudden just right past them. It's like, wait, is that Gin? And then he tries to stop and just like slides into the distance and clambers off the bike. And it's like, where's the baby? It's like, well, we've done our good deed. We've given the baby back to the mother.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
no.
I think that's after, because he actually goes to the address first.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
Because he has a talk with her husband. He says, that's not her baby. She stole it, and that's why I had to take it away from her.
He's living like a trash human as well. He's basically living in bin bags and cigarette smoke.
Yeah, same as when you get his life back together. I've got to get my life back together. I've got all these things, and I think Gen just punches him at that point.
Yeah, fucking nails him. It's and it's like abandoning your wife like this. Holy shit! Because he sees it. I think it's that thing. He sees it in himself again. Mm-hmm. It's like that instinct to run away from the problem rather than actually try to resolve it.
Yeah. Certainly goes, I know a guy just like you.
Yep.
and he had to leave his wife and stuff. You don't have to do
Yep.
that. You can rebuild your life and that. Um, and then
Yeah. Then he peels past them.
yeah, after they come from like the New Year celebration, so like you say, it gets the New Year.
Oh,
So
that's right.
because
Yeah.
they go to the temple to do their praying and wishing the New Year, and it was like
Yep.
it's really busy this time. Yeah, once a year is fine type thing. Um, and then he wishes by, go, yeah, yeah,
You,
it's stolen. It's not her baby.
yeah. You guys goofed. You guys goofed. We need to fix this.
Yeah. I, so there's, and she's just nursing the baby on a seesaw.
They can hear a baby crying nearby, and yeah, she's trying to nurse the baby
Yeah,
in the playground, and it turns out that the baby they hear is not that baby, but also it turns out the baby's everywhere.
yeah.
So this is a game of homeless people run up to couples with babies and go, "Oh, sorry, no, not wrong baby,"
They only
which
did
is a
that.
little
Only
bit
did it
awkward.
once. But
Yeah, it was very good though. It was very funny.
yeah, it's good. And then every baby in the entire that whole block area starts crying.
Starts
Like
crying.
every baby, like all the lights turn off in all these houses, and it's all babies crying, and they still manage to pinpoint Kyoko's cry.
So here's an interesting thing that I've only just thought about, and I wonder if this is the thing is you notice that the lights come on in a pattern that's moving forward,
Mm-hmm.
and I wonder if the baby cries are actually leading them
To the baby.
in a direction.
I mean, yeah, why not? It's getting a bit.
I like adding to the miracles that have happened already. That feels like that could be what was going on there.
Yeah, I think so. That's it. It's, it's definitely something underhanded and miraculous
Yeah.
happening there. So then they find her in the park, and she sees them coming, and then scarpers because she
Yeah.
goes, "Oh no, they found out!"
Yep.
And
And
then
then she
she,
sidesteps some bike blocking fences really slowly,
yeah,
which I just couldn't take seriously for some reason. It's like that's a weird detail, but okay.
well, it's just carrying a baby. Didn't want to kill this baby.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Well,
Got to be careful.
sort of. Anyway,
Not yet.
yeah. So then she like steals this truck, of a delivery truck is on the street,
Oh God. Yeah, she does.
and there's a policeman right
She
next to
just
it.
puts the fucking baby in the front seat.
Yeah, does that, and then Gen steals the policeman's bike, a bike next to like
Is that what?
I
Yeah.
I think it
Yeah,
is.
that's
It's
right.
stole my bike. They stole my truck.
Yeah.
That's the kidnapper of the kid.
Oh fuck.
And then Tana
And
and
of
Hannah and
course.
Miki is running,
Yeah.
and they're like, "How you can't be running, Hannah? You're not good enough for
Yep.
this." It's like doesn't matter, and just hightail it. And
Yeah.
it's it's Golden Boy s riding by again, man.
It is. Oh, it is. This whole sequence is great. Like it is action packed and harrowing and just great. Like because eventually, of course, like Hannah and
Miki.
Miyuki end up in that. They end up seeing that taxi driver again. It's like, yes, get in the taxi, follow that guy,
Pretty much. The taxi driver comes
and
back and he
you've got
goes, "Oh no!"
yeah. Oh fuck! And then you've got poor Gin, who's like catching up to this van, and just getting bounced around the whole road,
Mhm.
and then at one point almost being crushed and the bike destroyed.
Yeah.
Which like it's really great. It's an incredible scene. And then at this point, obviously the mother in quotations loses control, and you're just like, oh god, she's going into that. She's just smashed into that building,
Mhm.
and then the fucking truck flips, and you're like, I have no idea where Gin is. I don't know where the baby is.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
and then
because Garen's opened the passenger door on the truck,
yeah, he's
He-
trying to reach in
and
to get her to
yeah,
stop.
and I think she then kind of like
She swerves.
she swerves and again grabs the baby and does a roll,
Yep,
rolls along the ground with the baby in hand, and the baby survives, just crying out well,
yep.
and Gen's kind of like knocked unconscious, and
Yeah, you're not sure if Gin's all right or not.
yeah, he's kind of and then
Yep,
the the lady survives somehow. I don't know how she survives because
yeah.
it just
And
like
she just
plows
runs
into the
over and
wall.
picks up the baby again.
Yeah, and then starts running into the building, and then Hannah and Miyuki kind of
This is
are telling the taxi driver, much to his dislike, is like, "Ah, you gotta get in front of it. No, I can't. Gotta get in front of it. No, I can't. Hightail it, and then
so
this
we'll
happens.
die. We'll die.
Yeah, pretty much. And then hightail it into the building, and I don't know. They seem to just kind of like run along. Uh,
She heads
and
to the elevators with the baby, and
yeah,
this is the best part is because they basically then chase her down in the taxi.
yeah, yeah. And the taxi's still is like pelting it along in this building
Yeah,
because all
and
we
it
see is
just
them. They both kind of like jump out of the taxi as because she's getting to the
yep,
lift, and the taxi just goes. And you just hear her
smash.
go smash.
Oh, it's so good. It's so funny. It's and also again, like to say it again, the whole sequence is gorgeously animated.
Mhm. Yeah,
It's so well animated.
yeah,
And of course the taxi driver's like, "Oh, my car."
pretty much. He's
Yeah, poor guy.
so he gets out. Well, he didn't somehow die from that either. But yeah, Hannah goes to the lift, misses the lift, and not Hannah, Miyuki misses the lift and starts running up the
Yep.
stairs to get
She
catch her.
she bails up the stairs. Yeah.
Hannah goes to see Gin's all right, and where she is, he got up and they kind of hobble, and then they start running, and then they get to the taxi driver and goes, "Which way?" And he points down the corridor that way. He's just there beside his wrecked car behind him. Uh,
Made the
so
wrong friends this night.
yeah, so for whatever reason, the mother goes up to the top floor instead of like how she gets in the lift and she goes
Yeah.
presses a button to go up,
Yep.
and then what she
Well,
could
it
do
doesn't. It
is
doesn't go. The elevator doesn't go all the way to the top.
does it not? No,
No.
I thought it goes to the top floor, but then there's another set of stairs you have to get off.
Oh, is that what it is? I just assumed that it didn't go all the way to the top, and she then had to take a few flights of stairs up. But yeah, you're maybe right. It's just finding the roof access.
Yeah, if I was in that situation, and I would think if I was ever in that situation, it would probably be not really going to happen like this because it's not animated. Anyway, wouldn't it be better if you just press the button to pretend you're going up the left, right, and then
Then not.
when you get to the floor that you went up to, you just press the button to go back down, and then just
Thing is, though,
hightail
is
it
if you're a person running up, if you're running up and down the stairs to catch it,
out. Uh-huh.
you're probably trying to look to see where the elevator's going.
Yeah, maybe. I would think so. I mean, anyway, we get to the roof,
Yeah.
and then she goes to the ledge and starts climbing and says, "Right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to end it," type thing. And Miki's like, "Don't do it. No, we saved you already," type thing.
Yeah.
Stop
Yeah.
this.
With the baby in tow,
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah. And you find out that she's had a miscarriage. Essentially, her
Yeah,
baby died, and
it's deeply again like just going to dark places. It's like this is really rough. Like you are going through a terrible time and have done terrible things, but man, this is not good.
yeah, it's going deep. So yeah, she had a miscarriage. So her baby died before she was even born. Did not take it well. She went to look at babies, and this baby smiled at her. So she was like, "Oh, that's my baby,"
That's mine.
and then took it. And
Which
then
That shit happens, man.
Yeah. And then the husband tried to get rid of it without actually taking it to the police. It's like, oh yeah, this is the baby man that we found, type thing. And then, yeah. Anyway, so she's on the
To
ledge.
my point though,
Mhm.
uh, both of my kids, when they're born in the hospital, had a chip on them.
Yeah.
Yep, like a security tag on a piece of clothing in a store.
So the beat when the guy the when we were taking out the warrant.
Yep. If they get to the front door of the hospital, there's an alarm will go off.
Wow. What's that?
Yep.
I was watching some TikTok kind of guy. I think that's is that Code Blue or something.
Uh-huh.
He's from the States, so he's got like these Code Blue,
Okay.
Code Pink type thing codes. When you hear Code Pink come over the alarm, it means this, and Code Blue means something else. Uh, is Code Pink the one where they try to steal a kid, and Code Blue is like the one there's a guy walking around the corridors with an armed weapon. There's or is that
Code
Code
Black
Brown?
is
Maybe Code Brown.
code, Code Black. I think is a bomb threat, right?
Code Black probably is a bomb threat. Black Watch Plaid.
Black. Yeah. Yeah. That's the stage you never want to get to.
That's the stage that we're in right now.
Oh man, I really wish they had adopted the Black Watch plaid chart.
From Harvey Birdman, attorney at law.
It would be so much better. Man, that show's so fucking good.
You know you can
That's
watch
what
like
actually shit. That's what I'm going to use my Amazon vouchers on. I'm going to buy those.
yeah the first season, the new season, the ones that are released
Bird
afterwards,
Girl.
they're actually on more four.
Shit. I'll need to
Yeah,
watch those.
I found them
I've heard it's
recently.
good.
I didn't get into it again, but maybe that's because I watched the
Oh.
original and like Birdman was dead, and then we're just like, yeah, he didn't really die. He died, but like we managed to like pay for surgery. You know, he got like literally squished against the wall by a bus, and he literally see his wings and his arms
Uh,
sticking out.
it's man, that show's so good.
But then again, Phil Ken Seven got run over by a bus, and all he was this was like in Florida or something.
That show's so good. I missed that show.
On
I'm gonna buy the 4 seasons of that on digital. That's gonna be
digital.
my Christmas to myself. Yep.
Nah, man, don't buy it digital, man.
I can't afford the physical one.
Oh, is that rare now?
Well, that and it's all Region 1 DVDs, and I've got none to play that on.
Uh, my copy's not Region 1.
Is it not?
No. Swears pal. I can't check it. I don't have any of my DVDs with me anymore. They're all packed in the box.
It's 4 seasons, right? Or is it 3 seasons? I thought it was four.
4 seasons.
So seasons 1 to 3 as a box set is 35 quid on DVD, apparently.
Yeah, that's about right.
But I don't know. I don't know where the fourth season is.
Wait, no, is it? Maybe it is only 3.
Maybe it is.
I think. I can't remember. I don't remember them doing a full season. One of them.
Harvey Birdman on
Okay.
Prime. See, no, I think it's probably going to be digital.
Why? Because it's like 20 quid cheaper.
It is at least £15 cheaper. And then there's also the Harvey Birdman Attorney General.
Oh yeah, that's the new season.
That's well, there's only one episode of it apparently.
Oh, is it? Might just be like I'm sure it was like more, but it's on for 4 or 4OD
Do you
or
not mean Bird Girl?
no. It was definitely Harvey. Where he came back. I'm pretty sure it was. I think I didn't like it because they didn't seem to have the same aesthetics of like terrible animation. They made it good animation.
Yeah.
Could you know how it was like
Oh,
really, really kind of like looked like they just ripped the characters out like the old shows type thing.
yeah.
They modernized the look to bring it into favor with like what things look like these days.
No, it's just a one-off.
Well, maybe it is.
Harvey Birdman, Attorney General, is just a one-episode thing.
I'll be look. I never quite watched into it because, like I said, the aesthetics of it threw me off. Anyway, let's go back to this rooftop
Oh yeah, shit.
because we're not
Sorry.
finished
Go on.
talking about this.
We're
It's
not.
it's nearly there. We're getting to the climax, people. About to climax. So
Continue.
yeah, so they're about to talk her down. Do they talk her down? Or does she?
She does get her to stop and think about it,
Because she does
and
that.
then she kneels down,
Yeah, she does kneel down about it. Yeah.
and then decides, actually, fuck it, I do want to do it.
Yeah, because that by this point there's like a whole like newscast building and stuff. There's another newscast broadcast. It's like, oh, we're now live here at this building where a truck's just careered into it, and there's these people and stuff, and we believe it's to be like the person that's kidnapped the baby type thing, and like,
Yep. And then she just goes, well, fuck it, and just takes a step off the edge.
yeah, she panics at that point.
And Miyuki runs as quickly as possible and grabs onto her. This whole scene is just incredible, I think. Like it's rough, and it gets to the point where she's like, she's still talking to her, like you just, why would you do this? And it eventually gets round to, it's like, well, just take her then,
Yeah, I think
and
I think she jumps off and says, "I just want to be reborn," and jumps off.
oh wait. The husband turns up.
He does, but I think that's after the jump. I think she's just hanging there, and she's about to give the baby, and says, "I just want to be reborn." And the husband comes back, goes, "Hey," because Gen's like threw in the old pictures where they looked like a loving couple.
Yep,
I was like, "Look at that!
that's right.
That's what you were. That's what you should be," type thing. To him back in his house in his squalor, and he basically confess that you're going to change. We can change. We'll be reborn type thing, and uses the same kind of language that she just used. And then she's like, "Yeah, you can take the baby," type thing, and yeah. But at this point, I think Miki also doesn't have the strength to pull her up the building.
No, um, and then Gin and Hannah burst through the rooftop and
Yeah,
come to her aid, but as they're pulling her up, the baby slips.
yeah, because literally, Miki's already slipped over the edge. I think at this
Yep,
point,
she's almost away. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
and
why they grab onto her.
yep. And then at that same moment, the mother loses grips of the baby, and then Hannah like runs down the side of the building, essentially.
Well, without any thought,
Yeah.
without any thought at all, immediately throws herself off the side of that building to catch the baby before it hits the ledge.
Yeah.
And she lands on the ledge, catching the baby, but then loses her balance and falls again. And it's just like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and there's a big
This is,
yeah.
But they're obviously they're worried that she's fallen right to her death, but actually she's managed to hang on to like a big banner, She's like, it's okay, I've got the thing, and then it just falls away. And I must admit, like, my heart's properly sinking at this point. It's like I don't see how this is going to get better, because that was kind of it, right?
You're,
That was the last way you were going to get out of this.
I'm not sure about it. I was thinking that something's going to happen because I was thinking everything else is kind of happening. It's not going to be that darkness. Um, yeah, you
No,
kind of
I didn't think it was going to end in darkness. I guess I just didn't see the way out.
yeah. Well, you don't because then suddenly big gust of wind flies around the corner and opens the banner up, and she sails down
Yep.
on the end of the banner down to the ground.
Gently to the ground.
Yeah, down to the ground.
I I lie. I tell you no lie here, Colin. I properly teared up when that happened.
It's an emotional film, especially
It was
then.
it, but it was, and I joke not, completely from nothing.
Yeah.
It was like a weird sort of just, this is going so badly, to then just it going so right in a way I just don't think I expected.
I don't know. I got the emotional feels myself, but they were there. All the heart feeling emotions of these
Oh,
guys are
I'm a
being set
total
in the right
wuss. I'm a
place.
total wuss, Colin.
Hmm?
I'm useless.
Useless.
I can't watch things. I can't watch things with emotions in them.
Oh, you're watching all these things, man. You got all emotions.
Oh, it's hard. It's hard. Partic- like put me in front of a Pixar film and I'm not good. I'm not good.
Oh, yeah, all the emotions in Pixar films. Um, yeah, no, you probably teared up, teared to relief. I was like, oh shit.
It was. I think that's exactly what it was. It was like a proper relief.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Uh, and I genuinely didn't expect it. Like really, it properly snuck up on me in a way that normally it's kind of, it's building to that.
Yeah,
Like it's this continual sort of, but it wasn't that. It's probably the first time that that's ever happened, of like just pure relief.
yeah. Ah, it was. Yeah, it was good. It's a good ending to that kind of arc. So it's not quite ended yet though, because it ends up with
No.
they end up in hospital and the baby is returned to the actual parents,
Yep.
and it says and they're like, "Thank you, protectors, for finding our baby," and they go, "Well, actually, we didn't do anything. It was these lot." It's like,
Yep. Oh, it was, well, they're homeless, and it's like, doesn't matter. We still want to meet them. We want them to meet their godparents.
yeah, the kids' godparents, hence
Yeah.
Tokyo Godfathers,
Or
because
godfather. Actually, no, they say godfathers actually,
yeah,
because they're in a men's ward in the hospital.
why are they in the men's ward? Because it was, well, I don't know. Anyway,
The two people receiving care are men.
yeah, I think Yuki is also getting a bit of care. Or she's just in the room, I think.
It. I think she's just in the room taking care of them, because I think one of the things Gin asks for is a cigarette. It's like,
Yeah,
give me a cigarette. Like, it's non-smoking in here. I don't care. I'm a hero.
yeah, very much. And she knocks the bag that the old man gave her at this point,
That's right.
and it shows like there's like seems to be like good amount of money in there.
Well, it shows a winning lottery ticket.
It showed the winning the lottery ticket as well, did it?
It shows the winning lottery ticket. It shows the ticket with all the ones on it.
Oh shit! I didn't notice. I just noticed like the wad of money, like 450
No,
yen or something or whatever it is.
there's legit. I'm so sure of it. Is the winning lottery ticket is in that bag?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it wasn't 450 yen because it doesn't seem like a domination that they would have. Also, that's not very much money. That's
Yeah.
like 40p or
Well,
something.
what is a 1,000 yen is, I think, $10.
something like that. Or at least it was at some point. Anyway, yeah. So he's got the
Yeah.
winning lottery ticket as well.
Yep.
Jesus. All right. Well, it only glances at that, and that's all you see. No one picks it up.
Yep.
I think
Nope. It's just there.
the remark on it as something as well. Oh, like, you got this thing, memento from this old guy actually smoking the cigarette, and it's like,
Yeah.
and then there's a knock on the door, and the policeman says, "Can we come in? Uh, we've got the parents that want to meet you," type thing. Oh yeah, yeah, sure. And again, like quickly snubs out the smoke and goes, "Haha, I wasn't smoking." Even though if he's lit a cigarette, it
You,
instantly stinks
you
the room out.
definitely smell that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as bad as weed, but yeah, you still smell the
No,
fucking
it's
burning
still pretty
tobacco.
strong.
Depends how strong it is, I suppose. It's like
True.
the
True.
men's strong ones, which like instantaneously give you lung cancer, type ones, where it's really, really strong tobacco. Or you got the other ones where it's a
Marlboro
bit
Reds.
lighter. Anyway, yeah, so they come in, and then Miki looks up, and it's her dad again.
Yep. He's the police officer that's been escorting the parents through.
Yeah, and they say dad, and then they kind of like go wide. All their eyes kind of narrow again. And that the shock realization that she's met her dad after all 6 months
Yep.
on the run.
After all that.
Yeah,
Yep. Another miracle
yeah, another
right at the
miracle.
end.
Lottery tickets, um, saving the baby survived. It's like,
Saving the woman. Like the woman survives as well. Like so like and also we should point out that the guy I forgot to say this, the guy who the club owner who got shot survives
oh yeah, because he's in the hospital
because
when they,
yeah, because Kyoko tells him that and he's relieved. Like
yeah,
because he like as much as he wanted to hurt the guy, he never wanted anyone to be killed. Like
well,
because it was he's like he shouldn't have to pay for my mistakes.
yeah, he's come to his realization through the journey of this.
Yep.
Uh, he was literally going to kill him when he met him
Oh, absolutely.
at the
But
wedding after getting the
there
information.
is a realization, as you say, like that it's like, well, he's not the person who did this. I'm the person who did this.
Yeah, he
Um, and then the film just like cuts, hard cut,
that's
ending at
that's
that
it.
point.
Meet Miyuki meets her dad. End of the film.
Yep.
No more miracles. That's it.
How do you rate this one?
I think it was good. It was actually quite surprising how good it was. Like I said at the start, I seen this like there and like video shots way back in the day when it originally
Mm-hmm.
released, and I was like, do I? It doesn't look that great. The cover didn't sell it to me. Looked at the back, and I think it's one of these videos that didn't have like any shots of the thing in the back. But yeah, it's a high 9 at least, maybe not a 10.
I I 100% agree. I was so close to giving this a 10, but I actually think maybe with another viewing I might. Uh,
Well,
I
instead of being a 1.5 speed.
I think I would watch it at normal speed.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, I am lucky that I listen to a lot. I listen to podcasts and things at that speed, so I'm used to that.
Hmm.
But um, I think if I think about the journey that you go through in an hour and a half, it's kind of incredible.
Yeah. And
It's it's impressive.
it is. It is. You do see the time cycle through the movie. So like they find the baby at night, so they keep it for the evening. Then it's the daytime they run away, and then things middle of the day get to the guy. And is it like another day then? Because did they go through another night cycle? But yeah, you do go through the time cycle. So just
Yeah,
think I might have missed some of the time cycles because obviously it's like 6 days to New Year.
yeah. It's it's interesting. Like, it is such a a unique film. It's such a unique story. Um, and for something so short, I think it does a really fantastic job of the character development that it delivers in that time frame. It not only develops the characters individually, but it develops the characters' relationships with each other in a great way.
Mm-hmm.
And as I've said, multiple times now, the animation is gorgeous. I think that it's a lovely story as well. Like, it has some real lows in terms of it goes to some darker places, and it's quite sad often.
Yeah.
But it's never without its, it kind of has its foil as it transitions back into the sort of the miracles and the positives.
Yeah. It's definitely got layers in it because, like I say, it's not only those characters develop, but like the side characters that they meet have some development in them as well,
Yeah.
and even uh, a narrative in the background which isn't really to do with them. Like the news broadcast to like keep you updated. Oh,
Yep.
this guy's kind of isn't quite dead as you thought he was,
Yep.
and we're looking for
There's a
this
gang
guy.
war.
Yeah,
There's the baby's been kidnapped. Like, and
yeah,
it's all. You're right. It's like there's like, it's almost like they're along for the ride as opposed to driving the story forwards themselves. It feels like they're being kind of dragged through through a series of events in some cases.
yeah,
Um, and I'm not a religious person at all, but I love the I love the kind of I love the way the movie's put together. I
yeah,
love the miracles, as it were. Like, it's, I'm sure like everyone has been at a time in their life when it's, something just feels like, it's like, just as this thing could have gone bad, it didn't. It went the complete opposite way. And like, there'll be times when it does go the wrong way, but like, I know that I've been like, well, you know I'm worried about this, and then something out of nowhere comes along to make me not worried about that.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's that kind of thing where it's like, here's several occasions where things were not going well for you,
yeah,
and they've gone okay.
yeah. It's certainly it's a it's certainly a story of ups and down, kind of with a feel good ending to it, where everything kind of mellows out. Everyone at the meet isn't a bad person per se. They're just in potential bad places.
There, yeah, that's a really good point actually. Is, yeah, they're the people they're meeting are not necessarily always bad people, and even the bad people do nice things.
So,
Like, so here's your yakuza bosses and things like
yeah,
that, who's like, genuinely trying to help them
yeah,
figure something out, and it's like, well, you know, you were good to me, and I want to be good for you, so let's do that. Um, there's definitely like it is very feel good, but the thing that's really interesting is that, well, as much as we've seen a lot of journey for the characters, nothing is actually resolved for any of them.
not fully. I
They're just
mean,
they've just they're being presented with the end of their journey, but without seeing how that pans out. And I think that's interesting because I don't feel like I've lost anything in that. I don't need to see uh I don't need to see Gin, get back together with his daughter and hopefully, like, form a relationship again. I don't need to see Miyuki and her father deal with their difficult relationship, and I don't need to see Hannah sort of feel like, figure out her place again, because it's that thing of like, well, you just want to know your place. It's like, because I think we kind of see is like the three of them are probably as much as they are a family, they're probably not going to stay that way, because there's going to be things that are going to divide them
Mhm.
in the future, because this journey they've gone on, it's like I think your paths diverge here. Um, but I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah,
And I think it's interesting that, that's often you want things to be wrapped up, and it is wrapped up in that the things happen, but we never see the outcomes of them, which I think is really fascinating.
yeah. So they're all kind of like side plots to essentially to the main story of them trying to find the baby's parents, and
Yep.
that is the story that got wrapped up. That's all that really needs to happen in the movie.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, the main part of it is everything's okay there. Your mission as a family unit was to do this, and you've done that.
yeah. Um, it's yeah. I mean, I think the movie is there just to highlight that just because people are different from yourself, then isn't necessarily a bad thing itself. I think that's mainly could be the reason why they started with like the whole religious aspect right at the start of the kid and the manger, and then instantly go and bring out Hannah as like a gay
Kind of
person.
juxtaposition to that.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
in
I
inside
think it as
religious
well as,
faction.
yeah, I think it's interesting because I think it must be so difficult to, I think, tastefully have a character that sort of like, for Hannah, um, part of her character is that she's gay.
Yeah,
Like, and I that can be a really difficult thing to do, because not it's not that the story is about that often, but I think it's done in such a great way where it's like so key to everything that's happening in a way,
hmm
be that having friends in the right places, or the desire for that motherly instinct that she never had, or and like I think that's like really sweet in a lot of places, and that's such a it's a thing that can really backfire, is having a character driven by their sexual orientation sometimes, where it makes them feel stereotypical. And I think in I don't feel like that at all. Like, that's not even close
hmm
to what you got. I think you got like a really fantastic representation of what feels like just a real human with real human issues and complications of life, and I think that's so difficult to do. I think she's probably the best written character, because it's clear that there's I think there's a great amount of care put into that, and as well as like that sort of sacrifice of like, well, I'll be the blue ogre, or the blue demon. Um, it's just it, it very much cements that character as as a very strong strong person. It's just a really well written character.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, it's a good representation in that side, and this is before it was all kind of blown up
Oh,
in media. It was what, early two
yeah, this
thousands.
is 18 years ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
18 years ago. Like, I think this is and particularly in a culture as complicated as Japanese culture can be, around sexual orientation and bucking the norm.
hmm
Um, you know, uh, Japan, I think, is fascinating in a way, and like I may be speaking not from knowledge, but certainly through what I've observed, is that they're very weird to outsiders, to gaijin. There's a lot of weirdness, like wacky TV shows and people behaving in weird ways and doing strange things and dressing in certain ways. But then in Japan, my kind of understanding that it's a very sort of buttoned up,
Yeah.
fly right culture. So I think what we observe is more of the subculture that exists in a lot of instances. Um, and I love that, you know, they've managed to make characters that represent that in a way that feels really real.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. It's certainly, definitely, definitely top class and character building and everything. What I want to go back to is the bit where Gen gets beaten up by those punks,
Yep.
because I'm not sure what they stole, but I thought it was the 30,000 yen that they stole off him, and he went and got it back because I
Ah,
don't think he was as beaten up as you'd see him in the alleyway.
you're right. That is right. He's beaten up, but not to the degree. Yeah, because you're right. His appearance is definitely different from when he says, "Hey, you can't take that," to "I'm dying."
Yeah, that's it.
So you're right. There's a time jump there, and a scene that we don't see is
Mm,
him making sure that he gets that back.
I think so. Yeah. Um, and we should also mention that when Hannah and Miyuki is walking by the park, they're dragging off the old guy who died, and
Oh,
Hannah
that's right.
also has a reaction to that. It's like, oh no, again, again, uh, and
Yeah, because they hear the people, the police talking about
you know,
the homeless person that died.
yeah, and then she's really upset about that, and then rushes to the dead body, and they're trying to like get off, and then she uncovers it and goes, oh, it's not him, and then start
Oh,
walking away.
that's some other homeless guy.
That's not the one I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie.
Mm.
I'm
Yeah.
glad I took the time to watch it, and I am going to watch it again. I'd like to. I think I can see why this is a feel good Christmas film.
Yeah, to a degree.
It's sort of it's a little bit like Love Actually, and I don't mean that in the way I suppose what I mean is that Love Actually is full of sadness in a lot of examples, but is a lot of people's go to Christmas movie.
No, I don't think I've ever watched that.
It's I'm not a huge fan of rom com,
Mm.
but I must admit I think Love Actually is a good film. So
Yeah, which one's that? That Ben Stiller or
it's the
something?
one with the guy from Walking Dead in it, Andrew Lincoln and Martine McCutcheon and Hugh Grant and fuck everyone else. There's loads of people in it.
Hugh Grant, maybe.
I Hugh Grant's a pretty good actor.
Well, he certainly does his rom-coms all right.
Oh yeah,
I
oh
mean,
yeah.
that's all he does. So it's like almost like what's his name? Gear.
Richard Gere.
Oh, it's Richard Gere. Well, isn't it? Yeah.
So follows the lives of 8 very different couples in dealing with their love lives in various loosely interrelated tales, all set during a frantic month before Christmas in London.
Ah. Do you know? Do you know that Leslie Nielsen apparently used to do kind of like those type of films?
He used to do serious films. He's a very serious actor.
Yeah, yeah, but I thought they were like more like serious love films type thing.
He used to do. He did. I think he was in the original Forbidden Planet movie.
Wow. Possibly, yeah. So he was like that, and then
His first comedy role was Airplane.
yeah, and but it's the fact that he was able to do everything deadpan. I think his older movies
Oh, of course.
are quite funny now in script like writing. He was just do it all deadpan as well, you know.
Uh there's never going to be another one like him.
Ah,
Um. Anyway, uh, I I agree. I think this movie is definitely a high 9, and I think maybe with another watch, I'd probably give it a 10. It's fantastic. I would absolutely 100% recommend that people would watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But you have done it. You've reached the end of the holiday special of blah 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 of Who's That Anime. I was about to say the wrong thing. I'm doing well.
That's my thing.
I learned it from you.
Blame me. Sure.
But if you've been listening to Who's That Anime, it is an anime podcast where we talk about anime and all, just have fun with it. We can be found where all good podcasts can be found: Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Cast, Overcast, and you can find us at anchor.fm/Who's That Anime. We have a Facebook page, as we alluded to earlier on. That's facebook.com/Who's That Anime, and on there we share when the new episodes go live and just occasional memes and fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We have a YouTube channel, as Colin also alluded to earlier, where we're uploading video versions of these podcasts as well. We're hoping to get a bit more of a run in those in the new year.
Yep.
So, we'll start to see more of those. That'll be good. You can find us by going to youtube.com and looking up the channel Who's That Anime. Not at the moment, but Colin likes to play games. It does so at twitch.tv/couchfuel every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably be more of that coming at some point, but not in the immediate future. But you can, however, find an archive of all of that at youtube.com by looking up the channel Couchfuel.
Yeah.
And
you got yours.
no, go on. Oh yeah, and I like to play horror games at twitch.tv/AOPayman. Again, I haven't found a lot of time to do that more recently, but there is an archive of the stuff I've done on YouTube as well. So you can go to youtube.com and look up the channel Hail Payman.
Yeah.
And I think that's us.
That is pretty much us. I'll see you all in the new year.
Yep. Merry Christmas. Hope you're having a good holiday.
Yeah.
And enjoy your new year, and we'll get back to Cowboy Bebop.
Yep.
In 2022.
Yeah, second. 2-2.
Hell yeah. 2-2.
Was one thing before we go, something I noticed and something that was reminded by me is the 21st of December was on 21st year of the 21st century.
That's right. 21.
Yeah. Jesus, man. It's never going to happen again.
Some good numerology shit there.
2 year, another 100 years.
What won't happen again?
That'll be 22. That's next year.
Oh, okay.
No, wait.
Okay, I see.
No, that's 1,000 years because it would have to be the 22nd century.
No, 100 years.
I'm right, 100 years. Anyway,
We'll be dead.
You never know, man. Maybe get to live forever. Yay! That sounds like excellent idea.
In the current climate, bring me death.
Bring me death. Bring me sunshine. Do do do. Do 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 do.
Wouldn't be an episode if we didn't have any singing from you. So.
Oh, we almost had singing from you, but you didn't sing it. You just
almost. I didn't.
Just stated words.
Right. This movie is an hour and a half long, and we're at 2.5 hours of talking about it. So we have to stop. We have to stop this now.
Yeah, we do. Right.
Right.
Happy New Year, folks. Later.
Peace out, folks. Thank you for everything. Have a good New Year, and we'll see you later.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.